Hi there and happy 2025 for you. In this video I want to discuss what we should be expecting from Godot in 2025. So actually have some information about that. If we scroll down in the official Godot website and we go to priorities, we do find here some kind of things that they want to implement either in this new year or in the next one or whatever. And actually here you can read literally everything. Okay, there are lots of things, but I want to just point out some of them that I believe are the most important ones, as well as some stuff that is currently under development in the dev releases. And also some stuff from W4 Games, some stuff about community management, etc. So from here, what I actually want to point out is Jolt as the default 3D physics engine. You may already know what Jolt is, actually, sorry for my pronunciation. And this is basically another physics engine that is meant to be much more efficient, more performant than the default physics, Godot's physics engine. It has even been used in a pretty interesting game and viral game, Horizon Forbidden West. So there you can see like the actual power that it has to be used in such commercial project. And as you probably already know also, this Jolt physics actually exists inside of Godot and you can use it. But well, in the last versions of Godot, at least at the moment of recording this video, this was implemented. Okay, let me show you. Basically, it is now natively available. Okay, so now you don't have to actually use the add-on. So here you can see it integrating the tool as part of the engine directly, so the add-on you will no longer need to install it. But well, it is not right now a full drop-in replacement, so it is not the default Physics 3D engine. Okay, this one does not replace Godot Physics as the default 3D physics engine, because as you can see, it currently lacks some features, some compatibility, etc. But well, the good thing is that in 2025, probably, and in the early weeks or months of 2025, we may have Jolt as the default 3D physics engine of Godot. Now, of course, in 2024, probably first weeks, months, once again, we're going to have the official version of Godot 4.4. I am not going to be covering like all the new features, at least in this video, that will be coming, but I will highlight the main ones. The first one, we have already talked about it, and basically Jolt as the default physics engine, or at least as a natively integrated physics engine. But for example, here let me go to more news, and in 4.4 Dev 6, I think it was, yes, that we have now the camera 3D preview in the inspector. So whenever you have selected an object, as you can see in the inspector, the camera will now have this preview. So this makes camera's positioning and even some other stuff much easier. Also now curves will no longer be just normalized curves from 0 to 1. You can now change their domains. So this will allow some people to create even more customized curves if you want to. And also in 4.4 Dev 5, now there is a favorite editor item. So sometimes the inspector can be a little bit like overwhelmed with so many properties and so many stuff to modify. So now you can have like your favorite section over there with the stuff that you modify a lot. If you're always modifying the position of a certain node, you can pin it to the top. If you have some properties that you are always modifying, well, you can make them a favorite ones, and you will always be able to access them from the top of the node itself. And I also want to quickly go over W4 Games. So basically this is a company created by Godot engine veterans, and this is basically itself a company, okay, that is meant to improve some stuff related to Godot itself, for example, multiplayer, console porting, etc. So this is actually a project that started quite a few months ago, but it was just like the website and that they started doing some stuff. But in this year, actually, well, in 2024, they actually started like working, and at the end of 2024, I mean. And well, right now they have like 3 main services: W4 Build, W4 Cloud, and W4 Consoles. Well, console is basically the console port with accessible prices, and also meant to be easily integrated with the Godot engine. And for example, here you actually see a whole page for each of them. I'm not going to be describing like all of them what they do. For example, W4 build is basically meant to accelerate your workflow, mostly tailored to actually the builds of your games. Well, actually, this one is the latest one. So there's an early access program, but right now this has not been finished. So probably in 2025 it will. But the two that are finished are W4 Cloud and W4 Consoles. So this one is basically a multiplayer tool that will allow you to create, or is meant to create multiplayer games a little bit easier. As you can see, it has a whole dashboard with some databases and more stuff. So with some main features that set it apart from not using any kinds of service like this one or any other add-on or wherever. And as you can see, it is meant to have well, good pricing. As you can see, it even has like a dev version that is completely free. Of course, it doesn't have as many features as the other ones. As well, at least $45 a month for an indie developer is not that bad if the game is making considerable revenue and is actually like completely relying on this. It is not that bad pricing, okay? Well, lastly, the most important one I would say is basically W4 Consoles that will allow you to, in literally one click, or is meant to be in one click, or well, it basically allows you to minimize clicks and effort that you need in order to port your game for Nintendo, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, etc. Well, and it is meant to have the best integration ever because it is integrated natively inside of Godot, as you can see. And once again, it has pretty interesting prices. As you can see, $68 a month is not that bad. Because, well, if there are people that are actually like releasing things for consoles, it is probably because either they have like at least quite interesting revenue, or they are a pretty big team or whatever. So it's actually pretty worth it, I think, for these prices and for all the advantages that they actually provide inside of the Godot engine itself. And well, actually, if you go to like the news section over here, you can find all of this. You can actually find a year in review 2024. So there you can find like even more news about W4. But for example, October 10th, W4 Cloud was launched. W4 Consoles was launched on October the 8th. Etc. But I believe that if we go to when this actually started, it was at the beginning of 2023, I believe. Yes, or even 2022, but actually when everything started was in something like 2022, 2023. So we will see what actually happens in 2025. Probably they release W4 builds and even like more services and more stuff. And lastly, well, what we may be also be expecting is basically better community management because of everything that happens, okay, with the community. Because, well, as usual, for some people it meant literally nothing, but for others it actually meant a lot. I'm trying to actually find these, well, all this, okay, that happened over here, and also, well, how everything started from literally one Twitter post. So, well, once again, for some it really means nothing, for others it means a lot. But anyway, if there is like a large portion of the community that felt dissatisfied with this, well, maybe they have learned from their error, and in 2025 they don't commit it once again. So, well, this is all that I had to mention. What other plans do you think Godot will have for this 2025? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for more Godot news, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.